Oh, you're getting a clue, you say? Hey man, I'll be right on just a sec. I'm just finishing up getting a couple of the stream items set up. Hey, what is up everybody? I am just here finishing up a few 3D prints that I've made over the last few days. Nothing too crazy, just a few figurines and or little models, and try to get on your own Wi-Fi, man. It might be better. I believe Wi-Fi has come quite the distance in recent years. Alright, so I got this right here. This is actually Samus, however you want to say it, however you say it, from Metroid. I have a friend of mine that's a big fan of hers. She loves Metroid, and she is honestly like really like her in real life to me. Gun expert if there ever was one that I knew. So very cool. Sorry about the camera angles and stuff like that. This is kind of my first stream trying this out. So, with that being said, this print right here came out fantastic. I mean, absolutely, probably about as good as I could want it to come out. Let me see if I can adjust the lighting right here. Seems to be a bit better. So, she came out really nicely. Sorry about the zooming. I'll get a better camera at some point. I'm gonna, you know, once I get paid, affiliate or whatever, I'll upgrade my setup once I get some cash or something coming in. But look at the detail on her. Look at that. So much detail to paint. Let me see if I can get that too. Come on, zoom in. Oh, damn it. Sorry, guys. There goes. That looks pretty nice right there. This camera's not the best, but we'll make do. As you can see, they designed her with a wagon on her, so she got that wagon pretty much like every character does nowadays. But you see, this character is so detailed that right here, even though you can't really see it, right about here, there's, damn it, I really need to get a better camera that can focus on this stuff a lot better. Right here, there's some support material right where her knee, the back of her knees are. You can probably see it right when the light hits it a certain way. Very tiny support material. So what I got to do is I got to remove that. Let me know if the music's annoying or whatnot. I don't have it blasting on my end because I'm just using a microphone, so I can use both my hands and not like have my ears all nasty when I'm trying to do this. So I'm just gonna cut this little support. Oh shit! It just flew off. Did y'all see that? He went flying. Make sure you wear safety goggles when you're doing this. Safety gloves as well. I should be practicing what I preach. I don't know where the hell my other glove is. The dog comes in here and she grabs shit. With that being said, the glove that I do have is for my right hand. I'm right-handed, so even if I throw a glove on my left hand, it's not really gonna do me much good. So, cause I'm gonna be very fumbly with it. So, see if I can get a little bit better camera angle right here. The cat's just sliding in and out of the fucking bed, out of the door. I cut a hole so they can come through. Let me try a different light. Maybe if I try that. How does that look in comparison? That, you know, more natural light. Let me see if I turn it down. Oh yeah, that's much better. a friend of mine has been giving me tips on stream on how to handle certain things. Damn it! I really wish the camera was better though. It's like it has a great view from like back here, but that's not what I want. So we'll figure it out though, right, guys? So, anyways, I'm just gonna go on with this. Her feet right here, where she was attached to the build plate, like this, it's actually upside down. So she actually printed upside down, like going up and down into liquid resin until she was completed. Like there's just like these little, like little edges where the resin kind of overflowed when it made the first layer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna really carefully, and I say incredibly carefully, go through and try to just clean that up a little bit. I believe she also has a stand that she goes on that I'm gonna have to make as well. So this resin's pretty brittle. I tried out some new stuff from this company. I believe it's in my, if you can see my Amazon wish list, it might be in there, some resin, but it's actually pretty nice for what it is. It's actually water washable resin. This was made with water washable resin, and I think the quality is amazing and the strength is pretty damn good for you being able to just wash it away with water, after you're done for post-processing. I don't think it can get much easier than that. This camera I need to scoot up a little bit here. Yeah, I don't think it can get much better than that, so. I personally like water because it's so easy to get a hold of, especially during pandemic when everybody could be buying out all the alcohol. So it helps to have a really rough file like this one. This is a removal file. You can find these at Harbor Freight for like $2 or so. I don't remember where I got this one from, but it's it's just a general file. But it's a removal file because it actually has it's much coarser than some other files. Whenever you're looking at them, you'll probably have a couple of files to look at. Just check them out on their package. It'll say if it's for removing, for finishing. You want that removal file, especially with resin. Some resins are a lot tougher than others, is what I'm finding out. And also, I should be wearing a mask while I'm doing this. But since I'm not sanding on it super hard and causing a lot of dust, I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? I'm not too close to it either. This is very delicate, and I don't have to really drag this file on it very much to get the results that I want. So, but for next stream, I'm not gonna handle any razors much more in this stream until I have some gloves. I don't need to mess up my money makers, and that sounds pretty messed up the way I just said it and didn't think about it, but that's what I'm using for stream. I don't want to get injured or something, then I can't make any content. Like the other day, I took a pretty nasty spill, it's a minor fracture to my leg because my dog yanked me around outside whenever I was getting up on a step. She just yanked the shit out of me and just made me fall. And whenever I fell, I did like a Wile E. Coyote type fall, wherever like my whole body was underneath me and I had enough time to hold up an umbrella and a little sign that said "Oh shit," and I fell right on my leg, and that fucking hurt. It hurt so bad that I had to go to the ER immediately. I was, I'm pretty stubborn about that shit sometimes, even when I don't need to be, especially when I don't need to be. Sounds stupid, but so you just want to barely rub on this. Look at how small her fingers are in that detail. There's a lot of detail in this. I really think that my friend is gonna like this. I said I wasn't gonna get the razor, but look, I'm gonna cut away from me and very carefully, very gently. You wanna be gentle with this stuff anyways. These models have so much detail. You don't wanna accidentally rub away some of the other details that they have. So this is looking pretty nice, but I'm a stickler for detail, and I see here and there where the support material touched it. And when I say support material, I mean like tiny itty bitty pins that touch the model. So there's one more support right here that I'm trying to pop off. Perfect. In fact, since I have a clean COVID test, because I just had a COVID test because I was feeling pretty damn sick. Just the flu, lucky me, right? Now that I have a clean COVID test, I'll see if she wants me to go swing by and drop this off. So that way she can paint it. That would be pretty cool. Might get some gloves on the way out. See, check on finances because everything's kind of sold out. And if you can find something, it's pretty overpriced. Unfortunately, it's usually overpriced. So she is looking fantastic. I don't know if I want to try and shape up the feet a bit more, or her boots. I have a few other models that I'm going to be messing with here in a bit. I have Tifa from Final Fantasy that I just kind of want to show where I am in the painting process, and also her shoes also need to be reworked as well. So where her feet are. So yeah, this is looking amazing. This looks amazing. I printed this with a Creality LD002 resin 3D printer. I want to get her gun focused so that way you can see how much detail it has. Just so much, everything that you can possibly think of. These printers can be used to make dental molds and implants and stuff like that, as well as jewelry. They sell a special resin that you can cast in metal, so you just kind of make I guess a form and pour it in, and it just takes the shape because it eats away at the 3D mold or the 3D print. So I might try that at some point. She looks really nice right now. I don't want to go any further with her. These prints need very, very minimal cleanup as compared to traditional 3D printing. These don't need much cleanup at all, and the material is much easier to remove, much more like an ABS. I don't know if you have ever worked with ABS. Same stuff Legos are made out of. If you try to sand ABS material that's been 3D printed, it gets very, very dusty very quickly. You want to have a mask whenever you're messing with that in goggles. So this kind of behaves like that a little bit, as I said, but this doesn't need anywhere near the amount of post-processing that a part printed in ABS would. So next up, here is Tifa from Final Fantasy. She needs a lot of paint still, so don't be shitting on her. I got the stockings done, or the leggings, whatever, and her boots. The boots are looking pretty fly. I gotta paint a black stripe down the middle of them, right? See, right about here. Gotta go black stripe there, a black stripe there. I gotta paint the soles of the boots black still. I was able to paint in here. I need to go and pick up a couple of very tiny brushes for getting in there. I want to give her as much detail as possible. I like the way her skirt has come out so far. I've just kind of given that a quick wash of black over the gray primer that she had before, and that makes it look like her skirt is made of leather. I like that. That looks pretty sick right now. And unfortunately, I will have to get a better camera or fix the angle so you can see how detailed everything is. But there's like belt holes, loot straps, anything that was in the game detail is on her. It's very, very detailed character figure. I got this on My Mini Factory. These are free. It was free to download, so. I do some modeling, but I just haven't gotten that really into it. I've been focused on other aspects of additive manufacturing, some 3D printing. So yeah, I'm just gonna shave up her shoes a bit because I'm probably gonna paint these later on. I might do that on stream. I have a lot of other stuff to do, but I have a few days until an interview that I have coming up, so I definitely need something to keep me busy because I'm kind of anxious about that. It would be nice to work, so I'm trying to get up on that, So I do need to get some tracing in because I have my tattoo kit finally came in, so I'll be throwing some ink pretty soon. Slinging ink, if you will. And I probably will start streaming, whenever I'm painting or sketching or drawing. I've decided that I might just start sharing that. I'm not a pro or very good in my opinion, but it's just about putting content out there that y'all might want to see. Y'all might think it's awesome. You are your own worst critic, I usually find, so. Reality, they're pretty well known for their 3D printers, for their normal line of 3D printers, just traditional 3D printing machines. They just started getting into the resin game. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, whenever you get printers of this at this price point, you're gonna have to sacrifice something. So this printer doesn't have some of the bigger add-ons that you'd want in an SLA printing machine, such as a perforated build plate, although it was advertised as having one. That's where the build plate has a bunch of little holes, and it makes removing parts much, much easier, especially big, long, flat parts that you want SLA printed. So I contacted them because I was having an issue with this 3D printer, and albeit it ended up being just me being nice and smooth brained that day and not being able to remember that I needed to skim the bottom of the 3D printer tank to see if any, I had a failed print. Usually when that happens, you have a piece that's broken off at the bottom, right? So whenever the machine tries to come down to level, it can't hit the build plate all the way, and it just grinds. It's like, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with my printer? And I didn't want to empty out the vat. I skimmed it on the bottom, and what had happened was the part that it stayed in had broken off and floated around in there, and I couldn't see it. So whenever I skim the bottom with the little tool that I have to make sure that the screen is nice and clean before I start a new print, I just was pushing it around and it never surfaced. So, they never got back to me, but it might have been just one of them thinking, he's probably gonna click any second now. And, I did, but it sucked that I never got an email back or anything from Creality on their SLA printer. The same thing, I've looked on Reddit. I haven't seen very good reviews of their customer support, and that's another thing you're gonna have to sacrifice if you want to get a machine at this price point. So that's you'll get a decent machine that can print some pretty nice damn things, but customer service isn't always gonna be the best. You're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit, especially to get the price as low as it is. I'm not gonna discuss that on here. I'll probably put on a link probably at some point, so that way y'all can check it out from Amazon, and if you're interested, you can buy it off of my affiliate account from them. That would be great. So far, the machine is working flawlessly. It's quiet as a mouse. The fans on it are not loud at all. At first, when I first started 3D printing with it, there was a slight smell, but after a while, it went away. So, I don't smell anything whenever it's printing. Usually, like, that's an issue with SLA printing, that there can be a little bit of a smell to it seeping into the room. So keep that in mind. That's like when you're printing with ABS. ABS has a smell to it. You want to have a fan and maybe a filter to get that out. Not the best thing to smell in. As you can see, look at all this. That's why I'm being careful. I don't want this floating around too much in the air. So hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for jumping on. I really appreciate it. One of my buddies is trying to watch me from like hotel Wi-Fi, and I genuinely appreciate it. Trying to get to that affiliate. I feel like it would be interesting to see how that would work out. Okay, look guys, I'm not trying to be a fucking perv, alright? But she's very detailed. Like, I didn't paint all the way in there, but she has underwear and whatnot. This is a very detailed model, like I told you, incredibly detailed model of Tifa. But yep, she looks great. I got her boots nice and smoothed out. I'm probably gonna paint those later on. Yeah, those look good. They look fly. They're gonna get a little bit of more treatment, so I'm not too worried about scuffing the red here and there. And also, it looks really nice. Like, God dang it, I really am gonna try to get a camera that I can at least focus on, so you could just see how detailed everything is on this model. See if I get close enough to the camera, just freak the fuck out and do it anyways. Nope, didn't. I don't know shit about that. So, yeah, very very detailed model. Okay, so now that she's done. I bring out the Plague Doctor. This is definitely a very, very, very detailed model. It took about 16 hours to print on an SLA 3D printer, and the heart in his hand has arteries, veins, everything, like the whole 9 yards. You can see he has potions right here, like little vials. Little, like, I don't know, let me see if I can turn this light down one more time. Yeah. Try and get some shadow on that. A little better. Anyhow, you can see that he has like these little potion tubes right there that look like the mana vials from old school Diablo. Right underneath that, he has a pair of scissors. Damn it. What if I turn this light off? There we go. There you go. You can see he has scissors, other accessories in his pockets. His outfit looks like real leather. His mask alone has so much detail, like on just the nose. Like it has all these ridges, like right along the edge right there. Let's see if I can get another view of that. His hat's very detailed. He has a feather. On the back, he has like a scroll and all these little packs and stuff like that. He has a, I thought I saw one with a dead bird hanging. Maybe I was tripping. He has a knife and scissors. Yeah, he has a really ugly looking knife handle right there and some scissors. So yeah, he's pretty nice. Same thing with him. These SLA prints just need work on the feet. I print them upside down so that way, well, I mean, it's the only way you can do it. Industrial SLA machines use a different, like a completely reversed 3D printing process as opposed to desktop printers. Desktop printers print upside down and the other ones print downside up. They have enough resin to fill an entire vat full of gallons and gallons and gallons of resin, so they can immerse an entire tray in there to 3D print something. So in order to make this on one of those 3D printers, I may have had to put 30-40 gallons of resin into the machine, where I just have to fill up a small tank for a desktop 3D printer as it hangs upside down. So keep that in mind if you see any good deals on eBay and you feel like jumping on it, thinking you're gonna get a huge ass printer that's SLA. Well, you're right, but might not have the mechanics that you want it to have. Or, I mean, if you have the budget to fill it up that much, resin's expensive, so you got it like that, more power to you. You know what I mean? I definitely do not. So thanks for hanging with me so far. This might not be the most entertaining thing to watch, but I do have some interesting items coming up next that were 3D printed with traditional 3D printing machines and are going to have a little bit more work done on them. Might be a little controversial what they are, but they are completely legal to make and have, so feel free to not freak out. This model needs a little bit more work on the feet. Don't know why. Well, you know what? It's interesting because after I look at 3D prints like this, I can see like flaws in my machine. I'll notice that one area is a bit more worked on, like has a bit more resin at the feet than the other and stuff like that. I pay a lot of attention to stuff like that, so stuff of that nature. Once we get, let's see what I got, 1 viewer. Once we get 5 viewers, I'll bring out something, regardless of what I'm working on, I will bring out something very interesting that I'm pretty sure some people are gonna geek out about. Some people will probably be a bit horrified, but they'll be alright. If you have any questions, hit me up in the chat. I am just chatting after all. Let's talk about some horror movies. I would like to see a nice fucking scary horror movie that had Plague Doctor in it. If y'all know any movies, hit me up. Bang my line and let me know. I'm pretty sure there has to be something out there that I've seen. It kind of brings a brief flash to me, but I don't recall exactly which movie it was. But I always have ideas, and I am always trying to make graphic novels. So who knows? Might try to make an interesting story about a lake doctor. Especially with the pandemic going on, you kind of have like plenty of material to work with around you on how the populace would act and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a very, very nice file for just gently removing that extra material right there on the bottom of the foot. So I can get that for you. Yeah, there's a little bit extra material down there, so just kind of smoothing that out. Oh yeah, it's much better. I kind of wish he was holding a rat instead of a heart. I might redesign this. I might throw it in Fusion 360 and redesign it with him holding a little rat instead of a heart or something. I mean, because it is cool. The heart is badass. Don't get me wrong. Really badass. But I think him with a little rat in his hand, like a fat plague rat, would look pretty fucking cool. Yeah, my buddy's right. He does have terrible cell phone signal out there. That is nasty. So bad. And I like seeing all these other fucking overlays that people have. I need to work on my overlays a bit more. I have the Halloween one up right now. It's pretty nice, but I feel like I can be better. This model is already spoken for. It's going to a friend of mine that lives in Oklahoma. He is gonna paint it up as he's painted some models before. Let that right there be a shout out to anybody out there who has extensive model painting experience. I would very much like to send a model to you so you can paint it up for me. Maybe we can do a barter trade system. Figure it out. And it's a pretty decent size model. It's not small. You know? So, all right. Now that that's out of the way, I'm thinking of getting a small USB vacuum cleaner, so I can just kind of scrape everything off, vacuum it up, get a better workstation. I've had this poor mouse pad for the longest time, many years since my wife and I started talking. She got it for me. It was like one of the first things she ever got me, and I love it and I use it for everything. It's, you know, been through some shit. But yeah, that's about it on this Plague Doctor. It did not need very much cleanup at all. At all. Well, yeah, literally like that much. Okay, I guess right there too. But still, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Very good. Damn, I just kind of want a primer just to see all the detail. Y'all, like honestly, this doesn't do it justice. A little bit of primer on this thing, and you would be very surprised how much detail these models have. So now that that is done and out of the way, I'm just gonna bring out a little model that I like, that I have been painting for the last few days. So I gotta go over his eyes again, but check it out. His little hammer comes out. It's cool. And he has a little board that I gotta paint that's nailed to his forehead right there, so. He doesn't need any work. He printed pretty damn well. So this is what he looks like, right? This is what the resin looked like. It was like a pale skin color. So that's what he looks like now. He looks pretty badass. I'm pretty happy with him, even though it's just Patrick Star, you know? He's awesome. Alright. So yeah, he needs his eyes painted up a little bit. If I had my brushes cleaned, or maybe a few new brushes that are a bit thinner, I would start painting him a bit more right now on camera. But I will be painting stuff on cam. I just gotta work out a good way to a good camera for that kind of work. I usually just use my cameras for streaming video games, like my reactions and whatnot. So nothing too crazy. Alright, so we didn't get the viewers that I was wanting to bring out something super special. So for right now, I'm just going to bring out something else. So don't freak out. Yes, this is in fact a 3D printed 22 rifle receiver, or upper. I have parts to complete this. I've had them for quite some time from another rifle. And this is amazing. I 3D printed this. That's right, you can 3D print this. Now, this is going to probably go for more of a replica type thing. This material is very strong and definitely capable of being used, but not for very long. So that being said, it did need a lot of finishing. The rail right here printed on its side, this Picatinny rail printed like right there on that side, so it was like at an angle like that, and I did that because of this angle right here and this angle right here. So that's why I decided to do that. I didn't have this file, so that's why I didn't finish filing this down nice and smooth. So as you can see, this is why I prefer this type of file. It removes a lot of material at once. You can get down to the shape that you're trying to get to pretty quickly and just be done with it. Or take a couple of rolls of sandpaper to it, or a couple of pages of sandpaper to it. Start off with something a little low and then work your way up. But this is just kind of for me working on some of my manufacturing skills for things when it comes to 3D printing. Different materials need different tools for you to successfully finish them. Beyond just files and stuff like that, you know. If you're going for a very specific build, like if you're trying to actually build like a model rocket or something like that, you're going to want calipers and all these other instruments to measure the distances in between your holes, the distances in between like everything, just to make sure everything's up to spec. So yeah, this doesn't need much refinishing. I got my settings down on my support material when it comes to 3D printing. I got that down pretty nice. I also use tree support, so as you can see in here, that's where the tree, quote unquote, the support material had attached itself to help print this because this printed upside down like this. Print like that. So, wait, did I print it like that? Yeah, I printed it like that. No, I didn't. No, I did. Yeah, sorry. I 3D print a lot of stuff, so it's sometimes the orientation throws me, but you know, I have actually a worksheet for models that you can, you know, write down like little reminders of how you oriented something and whatnot when it comes to each part, so that way you can remember for next time or whatever. A lot of models will come already set up for their print orientation. The key is to like some things need to be printed in a certain orientation so that they're more mechanically sound, the way the 3D printer lays the lines down and whatnot. So sometimes you'll just rearrange it so that way it's just easier to print. Damn, I love that file. Making short work of this. It's exactly like I specifically went and got this file for this. Not this, but for this type of work. So yeah, this looks really good. Nothing fancy, just a 1022 upper. The interesting thing about 1022 is it's been, especially the Ruger 1022 has had so many aftermarket parts made for it from so many other different companies. You don't even need to have any actual Ruger parts to make another Ruger 1022. So yeah, that's looking nice. Yeah, it looks a lot better than what it was before. So there's that, the Ruger 1022 upper with the Picatinny rail, mounting accessories. Pretty good for airsoft, if you're into that kind of thing. So after this, what I would do is take sandpaper to it up to like a maybe 1000 grit. You can wet sand it if you want. And then one of the other things I like to do is just get some steel wool and just rub it on there and just smooth it out as much as you can. I mean, that's just for finishing anything, not just this. I mean, you can finish whatever like that. I find that not whatever, but you know, that's how I finish some of my 3D prints that are printed like with a traditional 3D printer. Because it helps smooth everything out. So they have some other stuff that you can buy called XTC, and you can basically brush it on. Pretty much, you brush it like with a little brush, obviously, over the whole thing. It's a 2-part mixture. I think it's just resin, personally, a 2-part mixable resin, but I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. It's just my own thought off the top of my head. But you brush it on, you brush a thin layer on, you let it, you know, cure, and then you can paint it and it comes out really smooth, or your models come out very smooth. Especially if you sand them and then put that and then paint it, it's gonna look pretty damn nice. So this is just for whatever. If I end up finishing this, swapping over some parts into this, it's probably just gonna be a country brush gun, or just something for plinking, which is just shooting little targets, little metal targets, something like that. Nothing crazy. just move the file really gently over. Just let the file do all the work. You don't really want to like put any pressure on this when you're working on it, you know? The file has the teeth to do all the work that you need it to. You just gotta gently move it back and forth around areas. Just gently work on them. No rush. And there you go. So I'm just gonna let that be it for that. Now, I'm probably gonna wait for the other stuff until later. It's probably gonna take a lot of work, and I'd rather just do it off camera. I have some issues with the print. I don't know if it's the STL itself or my printer had a strunk, which I'm fucking hoping is not the case, because things have to be pretty accurate for this print. So anyhow, guys, that was just me messing around with that, finishing up a few 3D prints. Just wanted to get some stream time in, let y'all see other projects that I work on and whatnot. Thanks for watching. I'll probably be back on at some point, maybe later tonight or tomorrow, with Resident Evil 7 gameplay. I said I'm gonna do it, and I am gonna do it. I just have some other stuff I gotta work through first. So anyhow, guys, thank y'all very much for watching. I will work on the stream and getting everything to look a little bit cleaner. Try and have maybe a full body cam or a full camera. You know, I'll see what I can figure out. Like just a camera over, like, you know, like the whole, like a workshop type setup, like just a camera with facing towards me and a table where I'm working on stuff, or you know, just a close up like this. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But thanks for watching.